Most people don't buy cars, they buy marketing campaigns wrapped in sheet metal. In 2026, the average cost of a major out-of-warranty repair has spiked 35% thanks to over-engineered sensors and fragile turbochargers. While everyone else is fighting over the latest tech-heavy hybrid with a 6-month wait list, there are 5 absolute tanks sitting on dealer lots right now, rotting because they don't have enough glowing ambient lights. According to the latest data from Consumer Reports and J.D. Power, these forgotten SUVs are crushing the reliability rankings while their flashy competitors are living on flatbeds. I've spent 20 years under these chassis, and today I'm showing you where the smart money is hiding. The Mazda CX-9. Let's talk about the Mazda CX-9. Everyone is sprinting toward the Toyota Highlander, paying a brand tax of $6,000 to $10,000 just for the logo. Meanwhile, the CX-9 is the best-kept secret in the 3-row segment. From a mechanic's lens, this thing is a masterpiece of restraint. Under the hood, you've got the Sky-Active 2.5-liter turbo. While the rest of the industry moved to fragile CVTs that feel like rubber bands, Mazda stuck with a tried-and-true 6-speed automatic. It's a geared transmission. It doesn't slip, it doesn't overheat when you look at a hill, and it doesn't require a $7,000 replacement at 80,000 miles. The engine uses a robust timing chain, not a rubber belt that's a ticking bomb for your valves. Mazda's engineers focused on dynamic pressure turbo tech, which means you get V8-like torque without the V8 fuel bill or the complexity of twin-scroll setups found in German rivals. Why is it rotting? Because it doesn't look like a rugged off-roader. It looks like a sophisticated city car. But underneath that soul of motion design is a chassis that's stiffer than a shot of cheap whiskey. You're getting a cabin that rivals Audi for quietness, but with maintenance costs that align with a lawnmower. If you buy a 3-year-old CX-9 today, you are effectively stealing $10,000 of engineering value that the first owner paid for and never used. The Toyota Venza. The Toyota Venza is the middle child that everyone forgot at the mall. It's not tough like a 4Runner, and it's not as mainstream as the RAV4. That is exactly why you should buy one. The Venza is essentially a Lexus RX dressed in a Toyota suit. It sits on the TNGA-K platform, which is the gold standard for structural integrity right now. But here is the mechanical cheat code. It uses the Gen 4 Toyota hybrid system. We are talking about an Atkinson cycle 2.5-liter 4-cylinder paired with electric motors. In the shop, we call these million-mile powertrains. There is no starter motor to burn out. There is no alternator to fail. There are no drive belts. The planetary gear set that acts as the transmission is virtually indestructible because it doesn't have clutches or bands to wear down. While people are paying $5,000 over MSRP for a RAV4 hybrid, the Venza sits there with better soundproofing, higher quality interior materials, and the exact same bulletproof DNA. You can easily find these for $7,000 less than a comparable RAV4 on the used market. It's the ultimate hedge against inflation and gas prices. You get 40 mpg and a car that will likely outlive your mortgage. The Acura RDX. If you want to see a grown man cry, watch a BMW X3 owner look at a repair bill for an oil leak at 60,000 miles. If you want to see a mechanic bored out of his mind, look at an Acura RDX. The RDX is the SUV for people who are too smart to fall for the German prestige trap. Underneath, it's a high-performance Honda. It uses a 2.0-liter VTEC turbo engine. VTEC isn't just a buzzword, it's a mechanical system for variable valve timing that Honda has perfected over 30 years. Unlike the European competitors that use plastic cooling components that crack if you sneeze on them, Acura uses high-grade alloys and simplified routing. The SHAW system, Super Handling All-Wheel Drive, is a mechanical marvel. It uses actual torque vectoring, not just braking the inside wheel like the cheap systems. The resale math here is staggering. An Acura RDX will hold 55% of its value over 5 years, while a similarly priced BMW or Mercedes will nosedive into the 30% range. You aren't just saving $12,000 on the purchase price, you're saving $1,500 a year in preventative maintenance that actually works. It's a luxury suit with work boot durability. Those are the first 3. We're just getting started. The next two are the heavy hitters, the ones that dealers are desperate to move because they look old, but they'll still be running when the sun goes out. The Toyota Highlander Hybrid, 2020 to 2023. If the Venza is the refined choice, the Highlander Hybrid is the industrial choice. Right now, dealers are pushing the 2024 and 2025 models with the new turbocharged 4 cylinders because they look better on a spec sheet. But for the long-term owner, the sweet spot is the 2020 to 2023 model year. Why? Because it's a zero-gimmick machine. Under the hood, you have the 2.5-liter dynamic force engine. No turbo, no complicated intercoolers, no extreme heat cycles that bake your gaskets into plastic. As a mechanic, I look for serviceability. On this generation of Highlander, the layout is clean. The hybrid battery cooling fan is accessible. The orange high-voltage cables are tucked away where road salt can't eat them. We're seeing these come into the shop with 150,000 miles, needing nothing but oil, filters, and a set of tires. Buyers are currently ignoring these because they want the new look or the giant 14-inch screens in the 2026 models. Their loss is your gain. By picking up a slightly older Highlander Hybrid, you're saving roughly $12,000 in depreciation and interest. You are buying a drivetrain that is mathematically likely to hit 300,000 miles without a major mechanical failure. That isn't an opinion, that is the law of averages for Toyota's planetary gear hybrids.
Now, let's get into the heavy artillery. The Lexus GX460 is currently rotting on lots because it's considered dated. It has a 4.6-liter V8, a 6-speed transmission, and an interior that looks like it was designed in 2014. In 2026, when everyone is obsessed with mild hybrid V6s and air suspension, the GX460 is a prehistoric monster. And that is exactly why it's the king of reliability. This is a body-on-frame SUV. It's essentially a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado wearing a tuxedo. The 1UR1FE V8 engine is arguably the most reliable engine ever put into a consumer vehicle. It is naturally aspirated, meaning no turbos to fail. It uses a massive, overbuilt timing chain. But here's the real value hack: no air suspension. While the Land Rover Discovery or the BMW X5 will eventually drop to their knees when a $3,000 air strut leaks, the GX460 uses traditional coil springs. It's dumb technology that works forever. Dealers are slashing prices on these because they want to make room for the new GX550. You can snag a GX460 with 40,000 miles for less than the price of a new loaded Kia Telluride. One will be a pile of electrical gremlins in 6 years. The Lexus will still be starting up in a blizzard 10 years from now without a single dashboard light. Before you go, I need to save you from 2 secret money pits that are currently being pushed by salespeople like they're the next big thing. Money Pit 1, the Volkswagen Atlas 2024 to 2026. It looks great, it's huge, it drives like a dream, but as a mechanic, I see the nightmare. Between 2024 and 2026, the Atlas has been plagued by fire risk recalls due to engine covers melting and catastrophic electrical glitches. The infotainment system is known to freeze while you're driving, taking your climate controls and safety sensors with it. It is a lease-only vehicle. If you own this out of warranty, you are effectively writing a blank check to your local mechanic. Money Pit 2 is the Nissan Pathfinder 2022 to 2025. Nissan finally ditched the CVT for a 9-speed automatic, which sounds like a win. The problem, it's a first-gen redesign headache. We are seeing premature fuel pump failures and transmission shuddering at as low as 15,000 miles. It's a textbook example of why you never buy the first few years of a new mechanical architecture. Let someone else be the test pilot. At the end of the day, the car market in 2026 is a minefield of disposable technology. Smart money buys engineering, not branding. You want the car that was overbuilt, not the one that was overmarketed. I've given you 5 survivors and 2 traps. Now, I want to hear from you. If you had to pick one SUV to drive for the next 10 years without a single major repair, which one are you betting your bank account on? Drop your choice in the comments, and let's see if you've been paying attention to the engineering. I'm out. See you under the next chassis.